Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me on this talk today. Today I will be taking you through a conversational artificial intelligence engine called Dialogflow. Uh, this engine is by uh, Google, and there are two versions of it. One is Dialogflow ES and then one is Dialogflow CX. So today I'll cover the lighter version, which is ES, and how to integrate it to Telegram. So our agenda is I'll give you an introduction, take you a little, give you an overview of the two products, some key benefits, and then we dive into a detailed hands-on demonstration. So, welcome to my in-depth demonstration of Dialogflow ES with integration to Telegram. My goal today is to showcase how to create a seamless conversation experience on Telegram using Dialogflow ES. I will walk you through the entire process from creating an agent to integrating it with Telegram. So, dialog. So basically, Dialogflow is a powerful NLU platform for building conversational AI agents, and Telegram is a popular messaging platform with over 500 million active users as of 2021. So the benefits of integration are that you can reach a vast audience on a familiar platform, deliver personalized dynamic customer interactions, you can save time and resources by automating customer support, and you can enhance user experience with a seamless real-time messaging interface. So for this demonstration, I'll create a customer support chatbot for an online store. I'll utilize Dialogflow's ES to handle customer queries, basically order status in my case. Finally, I will integrate the chatbot with Telegram. Okay. So the scenario is a simple bot that checks the status of a specific order and provides an answer. So this is the flow so that you can understand what we're trying to achieve. So a welcome screen comes up, you ask for a customer name, the customer provides a name, the system asks for help needed, what kind of help that you need, and the customer then checks the order status, and then the order status is provided, and the system asks for an email as a follow-up, and a final acknowledgement is given. So just to make you understand that the concepts of that we're going to work with, an intent there'll be, if you look on the top, there is an intent, there's an entity, there's an input context, an output context, and a response. An intent is basically what would be expected from a customer, what the customer would ask for. An entity is, an entity is like a parameter where, the dialogue that you're having or the words that you're mentioning in a discussion would be zoned against a parameter within the system. Now, there are already a lot of system parameters available within Dialogflow, but now there is a need to create some custom entities. If you notice, as order ID is one of them because it doesn't exist by default, so we'll have to create a custom entity. An input context is used to link different flows together, different intents together. Now we'll show you how to do that, and what it does is it basically creates a flowing sequence of different of a conversation, so from one point to the other, and as you're going through the conversation, the chatbot is picking up pertinent information that you're feeding in, and eventually gives you a complete answer. An output context is basically the same, so that input is, if an input is a pipe into the current intent, an output is now pushing that pipe out to the next intent. So I know this is quite a mouthful, but when we actually develop it, you might find it a bit more easier to understand. And then a response is basically what the bot would talk to a customer about. So that's said and done. I am going to now basically I think I need to minimize this a bit. Okay, so now we're going to follow the same path in sorry. So I'm going to open a Google screen in this case. Okay, let's continue. So basically, this is the product that I'm working with. It is dialogflow.cloud.google.com. It is possible to get a free version of this particular software uh, just for a while. So basically, Google Cloud provides a free version of their test engine. I mean, of their cloud engine, and there are quite a number of products. Dialogflow is just one of them. So I would actually go in and basically begin logging in, and you can see it's just logged me in, and I'm just going to create a new agent. So we're going to create a new agent and give it a name. We're going to call the new agent customer help. Okay, we got a customer help bot. This is the language that you can use. That's a default time zone. And Google project, you can select an existing project or create a new one. I just want to create a new one, and we're just going to create it. As we can see, it's now working, and it is actually now creating, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we need to create an entity for checking the order status, because that will become very important later on. So there are two types of entities, as I mentioned. There's a custom and a system entity. So I'm going to create an entity, and under the entity I will give it our name, so order ID. So 1 2 3 4 5 is basically the actual example of the entity. So let's do that again. Let's just delete that and do a new one. Entity reference value is 1 2 3 4 5. Synonyms could be order number 1 2 3 4 5, order number 2 3 4 5, order 1 2 3 4 5. So you can see these are some of the different variations, and we can then save that, and we have now our order ID entity ready with its synonyms. So then we actually go in and begin creating our intents. Now, as I said, there are different stages that the customer will go through. In the beginning, it will be asked about its name. So we are now going to create a context talking about awaiting customer help. Okay, this is an output context, and we'll give it a lifespan of, let's say, 3 or 2, but 3 I think is okay. We're not going to add any event at this point in time. And you see, basically an event is like, for example, if you press a button, etc. So we're not going to do that at this point in time. And these are existing phrases because this is one of the default intents already, and these are like, you can say hi, howdy, greetings, etc. The action and parameters are the ones that then follow. So you can give an input of welcome, and so we can see the output context is await customer, sorry, there's a mistake here, await customer name. Okay, so we're going to give it a context of await customer name and move forward. These are just the intents. Action parameters, they won't be anything right now, and we're going to delete the default responses and add one response, and that response is hi, what is your name? Okay, so we save that, and the intent is now saved. So we can go back and create the next intent. So we're going to create another intent, and the context is what we had created as an output context now becomes the input context in this case. So you remember await customer name was the output context, and we now, once it asks us for a name, we now expecting it to ask for help. Okay, so what kind of help do you need? So we'll make another output context, ask for help, and again give it some lifespan of 3 conversations, add some training phrases. So the answers that it would expect is my name is Atha, I'm Atha. So these are just some of the phrases that it will accept, and you can see it clearly has identified it with a parameter of person under the entity sys person. Okay, then we actually go to your parameters. So you can make this into a required parameter that without giving a name you cannot proceed. So we can make it into a required parameter. We could do a defined prompt in case someone doesn't give you your name, and just say provide your name for follow-up purpose. Okay, follow up on your query. Okay, so basically you're just basically giving, in case someone doesn't give the name and it's a required parameter, so this is what will answer, and the response that you can give is once you give your name, you will get a response from the chatbot saying welcome, the person name, okay, and then you can say, how may I help you? And that's it. So you've added that response and you have saved that particular. Sorry, I made a mistake. We have to name this properly, and we're going to call it customer provides name. Okay, so that is now the context itself. So this is the intent. So now we have intent number one, which is a welcome intent. Then the customer provides his or her name. Then we create another intent, and this intent is, um, after that we expecting the customer to ask a question. In our case, I know that one of the questions it can ask, basically the customer can ask, is checking the order status. S these what you're getting over here doesn't mean that it exists. I could have typed it in. It's just that my browser has an autofill, and that's why it's picking them up. So it's the first time they're coming in. So under check order status, the input context will be the one that we had created before as an output context, which is ask for help. Okay. And what is our output context? Now, what we want the system to do at the end of this conversation is ask for an email address, because in case the order has not been completed, uh, it should, there should be a possibility of following up with you in order to let you know when this order is ready. So you can't just continuously ask a system about what's going on, where's my order. So it's better that the customer is given a response when the order is actually ready. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in an output context called provide email address. So that's done. So we're going to provide an email address, and again I'm going to put this at 3, and let's continue. So what are your training phrases? Check status of okay. What's the status of so so these are just some of the phrases, but what is the status of my order? Now here we want to see that this has not been related to the right, or it should be an order ID. This can also be related to an order ID. We can again make order ID important and put please provide your order number. So this is just in case the system does not, the user does not provide an order number. It will ask him or her for an order number. And then the response, you see there's a list option, so that is if there were other things that needed to be added, so you could have a list of different items that needed to be asked in terms of parameters, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to leave it at order ID just to make it simpler. So you could have order ID, product ID, um, and last name could be parameters the system asks. But for now, we're just leaving it at order ID. And the text response is the of order number is currently in progress. Could you provide your email address so that we may inform is ready? Could you find I think this should just be a full stop, and we're done. So we have this as an answer, and then remember this was our output context. Now we're going to the last one, where now we know the customer is going to provide an email address. Sorry, let's save this. So we know that the customer is going to provide an email address, so let's do that. And the input context we know is provide email address, and there is no output context. But if you look at events, these are events. You could have linked this with Google Assistant, could link it with telephony, Google Chat, etc. So we're not going to do that. So this is trying to show you that you can run events after this. What are the emails, phrases that could be written? So authorab@gmail.com. My email is Athar. Okay. So these are just some of the phrases. Once again, it has not picked this up as a parameter for email, so we need to look for the correct parameter. So let's look for email. So sys email is correct, so now it's good enough. So we're gonna use that, and that's also an email. And then again, we can make it a required and just give a reason why. Okay. So requesting your email to provide follow-up information in regard to your order. Always communicate why you're asking for information and what is your text response. Now this is very interesting. Okay, so remember throughout the period we've been asking the system for throughout this process, we've been asking the system for help. I mean, for different parameters. So if you look at it, different intents have picked up different pieces of information throughout the subject. So now we want to just put everything together. Thank you. We have to use the percentage. I mean, we have to use the not the asterisk, this rail sign, the hash sign, yeah, to pick it pick up information from a specific context. And one of our contexts was the first context where we ask for the name is await customer name. Okay, and the parameter was person. Thank you. We have, let's not say I have noted your inquiry, okay, on order number. Now we have to once again look at which order number it was. So remember, we had created a intent, I mean a context called ask for help. So you type ask for help dot order ID, okay, and we'll email you on email. So you see this is now in this context, so you don't need to do any of that. So again, this is parameter, that's the context, that's the context, that's the parameter. Okay, so order ID was actually parameter, basically an entity or a parameter which was custom parameter, right? We will email you on this once it is ready. Have a great day. Okay, so that's done. Saved. Now let's test it. Okay, now testing is important because training does not seem to activate if I don't know if so. Let's go through the cycle. Okay, now the cycle was that the first thing I'm going to do is ask, just say hi. It asks what is your name. I'm going to say Athar. Welcome Athar, how may I help you? Check my order status. So it's going to ask me for an order number, so I know my order number, it's 12345. The status of order number 1235 is currently in progress. Could you please provide your email address so that we may inform you when the order is ready? So yes, I can. Okay. And thank you, Athar. I've noted your inquiry on order number 12335 and will email you on atharab@gmail.com once it is ready. Have a great day. So if you give notice, it's actually picked up all the parameters from all the different contexts. And now this is the same way that you could use webhooks, etc., to link back to a database. So push a parameter into a database, pull the data back from there, etc. So I mean, if you're a detailed developer, would understand this thing much more clearly. And now we've saved this. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at the integration bit. So what I want to do is, first of all, you can integrate to many other systems. So there's the phone gateway, Avaya, Signal Via, Works Implant, Audio Codes, Twilio, Genesis, etc. So what I would say is start off with a web demo, which is an easy way to test it. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, enable the web demo. I just how may I help you? Uh, it asks me for my email address, and there you go. I have noted your inquiry and order number, and will email you on once it is ready. Have a great day. So this is using the web version. Now we can do an integration. So let's just disable this. We can do an integration with many other systems. I want to do an integration now with Telegram. So it's asking me for the Telegram bot. So what I'll do is there is something called bot master, bot father, sorry. So I am going to bot father right now. I have Telegram on my laptop, so let's use that. And you can see you can actually create a bot over here, and what I'm doing now is I'm just picking this and putting it back into my Telegram. So I'll put the token here and start the bot. You can close this, it's actually in working. So let's go to my bot itself, say hi. My name is Athar. Check status. What's my order number? Yes, I'm going to give you my email address. Okay, so this is basically done and it is working perfectly. So now I want to see one more thing. Basically, we can, this is one of the bots. So what you can actually do is you can actually have small talk if you wanted to. Plus, you have an option of creating all these automatically. So for example, if we just import the coffee shop one, I'm going to use an existing agent. And now this is a new agent that I've created with all the order last, orders next. So these are all the intents, these are all the entities. So if I go to my intent and say, remember this is an important step. You cannot, okay, so the agent training is complete. So if I go to my integrations now, let me see if my bot is still connected. Okay, it's still connected to the other one. So let us now create a new Telegram connection. So just to make it simpler, I am going to revoke this particular token, the older token, and provide a new one. I'm just going to revoke this token. That's a new token, so it's no longer connected to the other one, so we know it's not going to interfere. And now I can go to my bot and say hi. Okay, something has to happen. It does take a little while, so I just have to say hi to the bot and then it will work. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, so for some reason you have to test it out in the internal system before it works. So I have a lot of coffee. What can I get you to drink? So I want tea. I want a delivery. Medium size. Yes. No. New card number. Just give it any random card. All set. Enjoy. So this is how it is. So thank you very much for your participation. So let's go and complete this presentation. So we did the same thing. So we created a Dialogflow agent, we defined intents, we set up integration, we integrated with Telegram, and we tested the chatbot on Telegram. So integrating Dialogflow with Telegram enables businesses to create engaging, dynamic, and intelligent conversational experiences. And thank you for attending my demonstration. Please feel free to ask any questions or explore Dialogflow on Telegram integration further on your own. Now, since this is a recorded version of the presentation, please do ask your questions on my comments, and I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you.